Hello, everybody. It is Monday, February the 24th, and this is Captain Marty, and we have for you some fishing information. Yes, it may be near the end of February, but there's still stuff to talk about, and I'll be back in just a moment to do exactly that.
The desire for being on the water is what draws people to the Outer Banks. OBX Boat Company in Kill Devil Hills shares that desire with you. The only full-service, Yamaha authorized dealer on the beach, OBX Boat Company is committed to providing you the best possible boat ownership experience. Their carefully selected brands of center consoles and family-friendly pontoon boats are all powered by ultra-reliable Yamaha motors. They offer excellent financing options as well. To learn more and see their inventory, visit obxboatco.com.
Are you ready for a fishing thrill like no other?
Oh, there he is! There he is! Oh, got him up!
As seen on WikiTune Outer Banks, the Carolina Girl, captained by majestic Jesse Anderson, is a custom, luxurious 53-foot Jarrett Bay built boat running out of Hatteras Harbor Marina. Let Jesse and her crew give you a fishing experience of a lifetime. To book a trip, go online to CarolinaGirlSportFishing.com. Carolina Girl Sport Fishing, your offshore adventure awaits. I had some interesting conversations as I was doing my research last night, making my calls. You know, the offshore fishing has been pretty amazing. I think that we've had the best giant bluefin season we've ever had. It's lasted longer. The quota that affects our area has not been shut down. Some of that has to do with what they're catching north of us and how those quotas work. But in the long run, as of yesterday, the season was still open, and there were I saw on Saturday, several of those big tunas were caught. Bluefin tuna, when they say a giant bluefin, they're talking about those fish that are over 73 inches long and sometimes way over. Of course, like most pelagic fish, they grow out in length first, and then they fill out, especially with your marlin. They all do that way. They all do that. But there have been fish in the 6, 7, 8, and 900 pound range caught. Of late, I haven't seen anything topping 750, but I mean, 750, in my whole career, I never caught a 750 pound tuna. So that's pretty remarkable. It's remarkable that we have these exotic sport fishing boats, many of them locally built out there, looking for tuna on a recreational basis, where they can keep one giant bluefin per season. And we also have the commercial fleet. Some of them are charter boats that are doing double duty. They can keep one giant per day, I think it is. And so you got that fleet that are looking for fish to take to the market. And buddy, when you get one of those big ones, back in 20 years ago, they were worth a fortune. Some of those prices, and we don't export so many to Japan like we used to, but they bring that fish to the dock as quickly as they can. They've removed its entrails through its gill cavity, actually, and it's just really, really neat how they do it. Then a core sample is taken at the dock to determine the quality of that big fish, and then that kind of determines what the return will be back to the fisherman. And again, speaking in very general terms, sometimes you get a great return, and sometimes you get no return. It is possible to get $0 back. And when you unload the fish at the dock and it gets put on that tractor trailer and goes to Philadelphia or New York or Japan or wherever it ends up, you really don't know what you're going to get for it for a week or more. So anyway, that's the main thing. Although when I was talking to Captain Dickie Harris on the Fantastic last night out of Oregon Inlet, he did mention that there's a few yellowfin tuna in the catches too. Now, those, I forget what it is, 18, 19, 20 of those a day you can keep, but that's the one I like, what I consider to be the best eating one. So guys, it's a little bit two different bodies of water. And when I say that, it's the Atlantic Ocean, but it could be on one side or the other of the Gulf Stream edge. Some tuna like the colder, greener water. Some tuna like the hot blue water of the Gulf Stream. And if you've never been out there, that's one of the big thrills as a captain. I love to share with people. Like, we'd be going out, they'd have a jacket on, it'd be cold green water, and they're looking at it, and all of a sudden you cross into the Gulf Stream. It is a river in the Atlantic Ocean, and sometimes the crossing into it is day and night. Sometimes it's blended, but when it's day and night, it's like next thing you know, they're in T-shirts, putting on suntan lotion, and you're in water that was in the Bahamas 2 or 3 days ago. It's really cool. So it exists right out off our coast, off Hatteras and Oregon Inlet right now. So big, giant bluefins at Oregon Inlet, a few yellowfins down in Hatteras. Andy Pylan on the Good Times has been doing, and others down there have been doing really good. A lot of their fish are under that 73-inch limit, but in that case, you can keep one a day and release them till the cows come home. So it's action, action, action. Other than that, I did talk to Kara and Anthony at Red Drum Tackle yesterday evening, and they did report there are still some puppy drum in the surf. Remember a couple weeks ago, that really good bite? We're not dealing with that kind of fishing. And the other problem is there's a lot of dog sharks. So it's a little, you gotta get your bait in the mouth of the puppy drum, because the dog sharks are kind of, taking over right now this time of year. But there's still a few around, and very rarely a sea mullet is still to be caught. That's the sea mullet is the bread and butter for us all through last year. And just like the speckled trout was back in the Sound. And so we'll see about all that. Speaking of that, we're going to take a little break right here, and then we'll come back. Don't have much for you in our backcountry report, but I can tell you what you can look forward to. I'll do that in just a moment.
Electricity, something I don't mix well with at all, and that's why I only trust the folks at ELS OBX. ELS OBX offers a variety of services from custom electrical installations to lighting design. ELS OBX has the experience and know-how to complete any job. They're committed to providing the highest quality lighting and electrical installations or service at affordable prices. Visit them online at elsobx.com to get a brighter idea of how shockingly awesome they are. See what I did there? ELS OBX, electrical and lighting solutions you can count on.
Like I said, I don't have a lot to report, and I don't want to make stuff up. Really cold water, really cold weather this past week. Not very many people are going out looking for the speckled trout. The season is closed. You could still catch and release them, but the season is closed in our coastal waters after the cold stun event that we've been talking about a little bit. We'll see where it all plays out this summer. By July, we'll know, and I think we'll feel like there's been a slowdown in the pace of speckled trout fishing, which was so good last couple years. They will rally and they'll come around. There's a term in fisheries management and with just people that make a living catching speckled trout, there's cycle years. And the fish cycle back. If they have a hard year from a cold stun event or anything else, like a red tide or anything, it will damage them, but they will cycle back. And it's usually a 4 to 5 year cycle. So we will wait and see how all that plays out. Other than that, I have no other information from the backcountry. Haven't heard of anything going on with the speckled perch or crappie fishing. Of course, people aren't going to tell me that. That's the most covert fishery on the outer and inner banks, and that's fine. It's very territorial, but this is the time of year when we should start getting some reports back on that. So having said all that, we got a nice week ahead of us, a little bit of a warming trend. Thank you. I'm ready for that. I have, as many of you know, I'm born and raised in Florida, and I still have Florida bones, even though I've been up here a very long time now. But I want to get out in the garden and turn some soil over. And by the way, now's the time to get in your gardens and start. You should turn all your soil over about this time of year. And if you haven't done your pruning, it's too late. Really on pears, nectarines, things like that really bud out early. Mine had already budded and were flowering when this last snow hit. But you still have time to do your apples and your pears, anything with multiple seeds in it. You still have time to prune those. So you could get started on that, because once your plants start budding and blooming, then they're out of dormancy and it's time to, you missed that window. So maybe look at what you want to get done in the garden, and I'll keep you posted if anything changes on the fishing front. I hope you have a blessed day.